Alright, I'm Jason. I'm going to be trying to teach you about finding your purpose, and then I'm going to be making a video on pursuing your purpose. Can't have one without the other. So, we'll get started right in. I got 11 methods here, and using all these, or just one of these, you should be able to hone in and paint a nice vivid picture of your purpose, what you want to be doing with your life, get a nice solid feel for it. So method number one, got this from Scott Adams. It's a 75% method, 3 by 75%. So basically what you do is you find 3 things that you're better than 75% of the population out there at. So for him, he could draw better, he was funnier than, according to him, and he also had his corporate career. And he put these 3 together, and in here he had Dilbert, the comic strip, and was his kind of little niche, something really only he could do. So this is one way. You pick 3 things that you're in the top 25% of, and try to see where they overlap possibly, and what you can do to, what only you can create, work only you can do. So that's one method, number 1. The second method I got here is your perfect day. So think about your absolute perfect day. In the morning you wake up, at night you go to sleep. What do you do in between? So you just think about, I wake up, my perfect day. What do? Do you go out and greet the sun? Do you go for a run on the beach? What do? You meditate, and then go from there. Go down the day, get pretty detailed too. And then what you're supposed to do is try to make that day happen. Start aligning your life to make that happen, to get those things. So if in your perfect day, if at noon you're out on a boat, you got to figure out, start aligning your life. How do I get a boat? How do I, what do I need to get a boat? And those things, and that'll start getting you going in that direction. It's a way to also kind of figure out what your real motivations are. If a perfect day looks a certain way and your life doesn't look that way, why not? So what do you want? Who do you want to hang out with on that day? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to be when you wake up? Where do you want to be when you go to bed? So that kind of helps you in another way suss out. All these kind of come at purpose, life goal, mission, calling, come at it from a different angle, and that's why it's so, I feel like it's more powerful than any one method by itself. So, number 3, end of your life. You're laying in your deathbed. What's going to give you a sense of satisfaction about the life you lived when you look back? What did you do? Where did you go? Whose lives did you impact? What regrets do you not have? Perhaps. How did you avoid certain regrets? Maybe. So that gives you another perspective on the kind of life you want to live, and then you just work backward. And okay, that life that I on my deathbed want to have, how do I start creating that? It's kind of the other end. It's like, okay, here's perfect day. I start working, in the end of life, you kind of work backwards. This one is kind of more age specific. If you're older and you've already lived most of your life, this might not be the best exercise for you, more maybe young person, but and then some of these fit into different, apply to different people different ways. So something to keep in mind. Qualified to teach. This is number 4. What do you feel qualified to teach? So this will give you an idea of what your strengths are, what problems have you solved in your life that you could help others solve, or what problems are you currently solving for others that you can kind of maybe expand on, redirect. There's a lot of ways to look at it. Just what do you feel qualified to teach, and then where can you go with that? What options does that give you? And what meaning can you create? And then you can tie those kind of things into the other exercises. So end of life, what the life I want to create and the life I'm living now and the meaning I'm getting out of the life I'm living now, how do I tie those together? So number 5, stole from Office Space. If you had $1 million, what would you do? And in the movie, they don't think that it's a great question because nobody would do, a lot of the stuff in the world wouldn't get done. Nobody wanted to be a janitor, or a lot of jobs probably. But it's not the point. The point is, if you didn't have financial constraints in your life, what would you be doing? How would you be spending your time? Instead of going to work for money, would you still go to work? Or would you go do other things? And then this also, flip side of the coin, can make you look at the life you currently have and, all right, what am I doing to make money right now? How do I feel about that? What kind of life is that giving me? This one, if you flip the coin a little bit around, this could be a wake-up call. Right now I'm doing this for money. It's not giving me the life I want. And then use that as an impetus to start, taking new steps toward end of life, perfect day. If you're not utilizing all your talents, 3x75, find out, maybe if I niched myself this way, I wouldn't have to do this job. I can make money in another way. Qualified to teach. Maybe I can start consulting about something. I have this hobby. There's a lot of people that, might be starting out in this hobby and might want some information on it that I have. Tons of ideas. Tons of ideas. You just have to do the work, really. Pursuing will be the next video. And, all right, number 6. Always wanted to, but. So ask yourself, I've always wanted to do this, but, certain things got in the way, or I just never really knew how to pursue it, or never took it too seriously, got caught up in other things, wasn't motivated, didn't have purpose. So look at that thing, and then see what would it actually take to maybe do that. Just maybe do an internet search. Does it require going back to school? What would that entail? Or does it require this? Am I only missing this one piece? Or did I make that decision because I had little kids, but now I don't have little kids? I have this other free time. Maybe I could pursue. Things have changed in my life, and I just need, you just need to ask yourself this question and just reassess. Okay, wait a minute. I'm here now. I'm not there where I was, so I actually probably could do this now. Seven, spiritual or religious. If you are a spiritual or religious person, you ascribe to a certain, religion or spiritual practice, most of those give you your purpose. They tell you how you're supposed to live. They give you the criteria by which you are supposed to be making the choices that you make. how you're supposed to treat the people in your life, the relationships you're supposed to have. If you're a New Ager and you believe that you're a being of light and you believe in reincarnation, that means a certain thing. Being of light, you're supposed to be doing this thing, raising your vibration. You're a Christian, you're supposed to be loving God, loving people, loving your neighbor, denying yourself, things like that. The decisions are already made for you, so now you just have to look at your life, which actually that'll be part of the pursuing your purpose. But they give you your purpose, so that's pretty straightforward. If you feel that, I guess, feel it strongly enough to ignore all the other impulses that you might have. That's kind of what religion says. It's, no, you're not supposed to do that. We know you want to, but you're not supposed to because of whatever reason. So, next, a philosophical purpose. So this one's more, it's a little like religion, but except you come at it almost logically. It's a line of thinking. You believe you're supposed to live a certain way. You come to this conclusion because you've done some thinking. So, for instance, Stoicism. You're supposed to act in a certain way for certain reasons, and those reasons just come about because of logic. This follows this because of this. I feel like Buddhism is more of a philosophy than a religion. There's no real supreme being. Buddhism is more just a way to be, but it's more of a thinking, I feel. Maybe I don't know enough about it. Taoism too, kind of, okay, this is the principle of the universe, and logically you implement them this way. It's to do otherwise is illogical within those systems. So I could have that one wrong, but it's another way to think about it. If you are a student of philosophy, a way of being, the ethics, morality, those kind of dictate. So 9, without constraint. It's kind of like the money one, the $1 million, but it's broader. It's okay, so not only am I not constrained by money, but I'm also not constrained by anything in my current life. So you have all of your time to spend however you want. You have all of your energy to spend however you want. You don't, none of the relationships that you have, imagine they're gone. All your constraints. Now ask yourself, now that you've kind of blank slate, life is blank slate, what would you do? Who would you hang out with? What would you do? Where would you live? How would you make money? Or not make money? What would you eat? What would you, what would you do? Blank slate. That's actually what I should call that. I should call that blank slate. But anyways, think about life that way. Time, energy, and attention. You have all the ways that you currently spend those gone. Now, how do you spend them? Who do you hang out with? That's think about that. That's a big one. There's a lot of tough questions there. That could be difficult because I bet, especially if your life is a mess, I bet that there's a lot of people that you currently hang out with and associate with that you wouldn't necessarily associate with. You associate with them out of either guilt, just because you've always done it. It's kind of the easy thing to do because, but I don't know. Think about it. One more, lens to look at the idea. Next is have, be, and do. I got this from 4 Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss. You make 3 lists. It's like 5 to 7 things. So list, things you like to have, things of who you'd like to be, and then you take your be list and you turn it into a do list. What are you doing? So here you want to be a doctor. What is that doing? What are you doing as a doctor? You know, and then oh, well, I'm helping. And then you can get more specific. I'm helping, you know, I'm a heart surgeon. I'm a, you know, children's doctor. I'm a, you know, what kind of doctor are you? I want to be a doctor. What kind of doctor? I want to be a veterinarian. Well, do you want to specialize in, you know, horses or dogs or, you know, what? So you 5 to 7 things. Have, be, do. Have is just what do you want to have? You know, in the book he talks, hey, if you want a Ferrari, put Ferrari. And if that really means something, if that'll really make you excited, do that. So so there's that one. And then the next one is want, should, like, and good at. Same idea, kinda. So 5 to 7 things of what you want to do with your life, what you feel like you should do with your life, and not necessarily I should go to church every Sunday. I should, you know, do this thing that to appease other people. It's more of a I've always felt I should do this. I've always felt I should volunteer more. I've always felt like I should donate money. I've always felt like I should go to Spain. You know, it's that kind of thing. It's you. It's what you want. Your criteria. What'll make you happy. What'll get you excited about your life. Like. What do you like to do? When you know, when you're not at work and you're not engaging in whatever other responsibilities you have, what do you like to do? Hobbies, interests, recreation, social things. What do you do? What do you like to do? Write those down. 5 to 7 things. And then I'll just put it here. What are you good at? What are you better than? That goes back to, you know, what are you better than most people at? What are you good at? What's kind of easy for you? And then the thing with this list is you look and you see what's on all of them. You know, how do they all tie together? You know, what on this list ties in with this, and this, and go through the different ones, and then you can kind of maybe, oh, well, yeah, I can see how maybe I should be doing, you know, this might be good, you know, I want my life to be about whatever, I don't know, I can't come up with an example right now, but to see how they tie together. And then you should have a clearer picture of maybe what direction you should be going in. Alright, so this is part 1 of 2. Part 2 of 2 will be about pursuing your purpose. So once you figure it out, what do you have to do in order to make it really happen? Because if you do any of these and you try to just fit it into your life, it's not going to work. You're going to fail, and that's why I think most people give up. So, next video, pursuing your purpose. All right, thank you.